Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones setups for today. So we did get going to the downside initially and then turned around and sort of came back to start testing breaks. This is kind of in no man's land as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, could be a wedge forming, could be a megaphone forming, could be a break of structure, and we're now looking for a retest to downside. Oscillators have a different argument when you compare that low to this current low. That is, well, it's not quite set yet, but I'll take that back. Sorry, I was expecting diversions down there, but there isn't. So yeah, there's nothing really on the 8th hour that actually is looking like we need to be paying attention to anything. And if we get to the 3 hour, the only thing here is that we have a crossover, but we're in between all the moving averages, so we are essentially ranging, which is what's happening at the moment. Oscillators have grouped to the downside. They have started swinging to the upside, but there's nothing, again, there's really nothing. There's no break, there's no structure, and when you drop down to the hour, you can see the confusion. Big down, big up, big down, big up, big down, big up. Just mucking around here and not at an exact level either. So, you know, we could argue that we have that level there, which seems to be what we tested yesterday, which should be tested again, or we could argue that you know, we're looking a little bit further left, and you'll see a little bit better structure that we need to pay attention to. Nevertheless, the downward trend line here is not looking too great for the bears. There it is there. Sorry, there it is there. I'll get it now. There it is there. So, well, that's the one anyway. Then you've got one that went parabolic here, and that's what I'm talking about now. So you can see that was the original trend line, then it went the parabolic, and now we've broken that structure to the upside. Now, if you look at this on the 15 minutes, you're going to see a setup very similar to what's on the S&P, and that's this rounding bottom formation from yesterday. You can see low, lower low, higher low. So head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, rounding bottom, cup and handle, whatever you want to call it. It's a potential bottoming pattern. But for it to take place, I would want to see us get above the highs of yesterday and build a base on that for a move up. Until that happens, I am sitting quietly. We've got non-farm payrolls coming out as well. And if you look at all this chaos, I mean, you know, you do get the rejections, but then the buyers immediately step in. Diversions everywhere. You know, that's a double bottom pattern as well, which has come back to be tested. We're in amongst moving averages. So, yeah, I think you're probably going to find more of the same today until non-farm payrolls, and at that point you may see some kind of a move. But my opinion right now is we're probably just going to meander sideways and continue in this consolidation phase that we find ourselves in at the moment, at the top of a big move, and while everything starts to settle. If you look at it on the daily, you can see we got lots of sellers up here. It is looking a little bit messy up to the upside, but you would expect some kind of a pullback. And look at this big daily pin bar here, which is a juicy target with a gap just above it with the oscillators there. So yeah, trend is still up, but I would expect some kind of a pullback. And then lastly, if you look at it on the weekly, and we just get rid of all this noise, you can see that's the weekly level. And it does look like we are forming a little tweezer top type structure at the top here. You would expect one of these weekly tails to be tested. And that is the real buying opportunity for me at the moment. Anyway, that's kind of my view at the moment. I'm sitting on the sides with this one. We'll wait for non-farm payrolls and we'll see what happens. Been sitting on the sides all week with Dow. But nevertheless, it's a profitable move. And we will catch up with you on Monday. Hope it helps. Cheers for now.